Hey friends, it's Joy. Nice to see you. I just dropping in to do a quick coloring time. I hope somebody can jump on and say hi. Let me know that you're here if you actually see me. So I hope all is well. And I'm using the sketched florals lily from Prickly Pear Stamps, which is now being carried by Pajama Crafter Stamps. So yeah, I'm just gonna do, like I said, a quick coloring. Now, I know that it's Easter time and it probably makes sense to do this in the white and yellow like that we see for Easter, but I want to go ahead and do the color I like just so we can do just so that it's something that I like to color. Everybody doing things that we like to do, and like that's what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to be using the colors RB 32, 34, 17, and 19. I usually start with my darkest colors, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. And I am using the RB 19. And anywhere there's a shadow, like where the stamen is, or where a petal would overlap another one, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow. And then in the center, there's always one. So if anybody's on, please just say hi to let me know. All right. I'm going to find out real fast if this is a good time to go live or not. And if it's not, then I'll modify it for next time. But you never really know. So I'm kind of already breaking my own rules. I usually do one petal at a time. So yeah, I've already started like two of them. So I'm not sure. Now I'm going to come in with this R17, and this is just going to be a kind of a transition color between those RB30s and the 17s. Now we could get super crazy, and we could do a lot of striations and stuff, but I'm just going to go for a super blended look. So the key to that is I'm letting the back of my marker really scrub over the next line before I go further up. Now this RV 34 is our actual mid-tone, so it's the one that you're going to see the most of. And so again, I'm doing these three petals and then we'll move on to the next. So I'm really scrubbing that the teens to the 30s so that we get a good blend. And now I'm going to the RV 32. This is way different than the way I normally do flowers. I usually do like a lot of striations and make the tips like where it comes in the center. But I'm just going for blendy today. I hope that's okay with everybody. Let's see what else we have here. Um, so this is going to be in shadow. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I thought somebody was texting me to tell me they couldn't hear me or I wasn't actually live or something. So I wanted to check that. I apologize. I don't normally like to look at my phone when I'm on a live because it's rude to you guys. But sometimes you just have to um, go with it. So I'm bringing this RV19 further up so that when we get to that petal, it'll stand out a little bit more. So it'll be forward. Let's see. Help if I would have grabbed up RV17. This is going to be a repetitive coloring the entire time. And since I put that up here at the top where that shadow would be, I have to go ahead and extend that down just a hair. But that's as much as I want to do with that one. And now I'm coming in with this RB34. So we're getting all kinds of blendy, blendy, blendy. I'm really going to scrub over that line because that's not wanting to blend up there. This is one of those things where you want to do what do as I say, not as I do. And I always recommend that you put a piece of paper underneath your coloring, just because you see that's pretty moist right there, and that'll soak through all the way to the back. And the reason I went so heavy with this lightest color is because I'm trying to get this to bleach out just a hair. So I'm going to come back in with this RB34. Since my paper is as moist as it is, I'm sort of, it's kind of like a faux tip. And then, here I'm going to use this RB32 here. And I'm going to do the 34 just a little bit up here just to give it a little bit of a dimension there. So we're going to keep going and see what we can come up with. So there's going to be a shadow underneath the stamen. So I'm making sure to put that in. I accidentally colored that one. That's okay. This is crazy. I actually have not been to sleep. I could not sleep at all last night. So I have been up almost 48 hours at this point. So it's lots of fun. It's probably a good thing that you guys can't see see the bags under my eyes today, that we've got the face down camera, because let me tell you, I'm a little bit of a mess. But that's the way it is. So I don't know if you guys saw on some of my feeds, but my puppy had a really bad ear infection, and he ended up having to go to the vet this weekend. And he ended up, we have to wrap his ear so it's like wrapped around the top of his head to keep it flat, because he had a really bad hematoma. And so that was really interesting. And then I've got to put drops in his ears for the next 2 weeks. So he's not a happy camper. The vet wanted me to buy this sleeve that you put over the head. But by the time it was going to be shipped to me, it was going to be like 3 or 4 days before he was ever going to receive it. So, yeah, didn't get to I didn't get to do that. I just decided to buy what we used to call Coban, and which is like an elastic bandage that's sticky. And I've just been wrapping his ear because I figure I know how to do a bandage, and so I'm using wrapping his head as if he's got like a head wound, but I'm making sure that ear flap is flat against the top of his head, because he did have to have a minor surgery, and had that lacerated so that we could drain that hematoma. So I was very thankful that our vet was open on Saturday so that I didn't have to pay for an emergency. I did actually try to do a little bit of surgery in my living room, and it was unsuccessful. I don't usually recommend that for people, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? And if anybody's on right now, I cannot see any comments. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is. It's kind of frustrating. but this too shall pass. And then this petal is going to be mainly in shadow. So I'm only going to do a two color blend. And I'm actually going to skip the 17. I'm going to go to the 34. So we've got some differentiation in the coloring. Isn't that kind of pretty though? Let's see what else. Um, this one would, it's coming out this way. There's going to be a shadow. We're going very blendy blendy today. We're not doing any rocket science or anything like this. We're not doing any huge striations or anything like that. We're just getting her done. I like to show different ways of coloring because like this is not my norm, but I like to show it so that people can see that you don't have to get real technical with your coloring to get a really pretty card or stamped image. We're all at different skill levels, and Lord knows there's enough people that are way better than I am, but there are people that are not where I am. So I always like to show the good, the bad, the ugly. And today we are just going with it. This here, I'm going to color as a petal. I do think that it probably is a petal and not a leaf, but I can't 100% be positive on that. So I put that there because that's where the petal kind of turns on itself, twist. And if you notice that I keep capping and like taking the caps on and off, that's just because with alcohol markers, they tend to dry out quicker. And I'm in the northern Kentucky area, and even though we are humid most of the time, we still can get kind of dry. So since we're heading towards spring and summer, I'm just getting myself in the habit of capping and recapping. Now, if you're coloring like with polos, you would not want to keep recapping because you'll end up burping and then they'll kind of vomit everywhere. So keep that in mind. And this one, I'm going to use the R17, RB17, excuse me, right here. And a little bit of the 34. So you can see I didn't use that. I didn't use the RB19 because I'm just trying to get some differentiation in my coloring. Hi, Sandy Andrews. How are you? So nice to see you here with me. I love this stamp set, Sandy. It's a fun one. It's great for Easter, which is why I'm coloring it today. So there is going to be a nice shadow in each of those places. And then I'm going to go to that 17. It's very frustrating when I go live because I don't always see what you guys are seeing, and it makes me feel like I'm ignoring you, and I'm really not. I cannot see comments. I can see Sandy's on Facebook, but nothing else. Like not on YouTube or Instagram, unfortunately. So I'm hoping that it actually is live on all of the places because right now it's making kind of a liar out of me. All right, so let's see. This whole loop is going to be in shadow. So it's going to be just the RV17 and the 19. So this 19 is first. Then I'm bringing in the 17 to blend it out. Now, this flower is really, this petal's going down underneath it. And let's see. Blendy, blendy, blendy. If I need to get more better blend in here, I can always come back and add layers because Copics are transparent. Hi, Judy BZ. How are you? Like I said, I can see Facebook comments, but I cannot see YouTube or Instagram right now. So frustrating that I can't make talk with all of you, but that's what we're doing. Um, I don't know if y'all know this. I'm kind of excited about it. We have a new release coming out on Friday, and it's pretty super. I just got done filming a class. Um, I'm actually doing it at Stamp Fest in Lakeland, Florida in June. I think it's like June 29th through the 1st of July. So I'm going to teach that. And since I had to get the samples made for them, I went ahead and I filmed that. So you might see some reels or something like that with that one coming up. And then I've got some more to color, throughout the next couple of days. So what else? Judy says that she's doing well, which I'm very happy about. So y'all, my husband worked he wasn't supposed to work, but the facility went down last night because of wind of all things. So he went in like at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, didn't get home until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So he just came home not too long ago and he's actually catching some fleas because he was like a zombie when I woke him up at 7 this morning to go back to work. So I'm just very glad that everything's kind of back up and running and he could come home so he could sleep. So yeah, we've got that going on. And then I'm going to a Bible study actually this evening with some of my girlfriends, and he'll be sleeping, which I think actually we could not have asked for better. We could have asked for better timing, you know, for me to be able to be busy tonight, so he can actually sleep this afternoon, this evening, and then when I get home, and I can do kind of something. But it's really funny. He decided when was it this weekend that he wants to start making his own bread. So there's a girl named Wendy Cranford who is on our design team, and she's a hoot. If you guys haven't followed her yet, please do. She's like I said, she's funny as all get out. But she kind of started making bread and stuff because she found that it was healthier. I haven't really looked into it, but I imagine homemade bread doesn't have all the preservatives in it. And now my husband wants to get into doing that. And so we had bought all the ingredients he was actually going to make the bread, which was kind of awesome. But he ended up having to go to work. So I have a feeling that while I'm gone tonight, if he's not sleeping, I bet he's going to make some bread. And I'm very much looking forward to that. We also bought the yeast that we can start making our own pizza crust because I think y'all have seen at one time or another that for Christmas. Um, I'm nerdy want some sourdough. Um, that for Christmas I got a pizza oven, and we find that the best crust so far has been at Gordon Food Services. It's a restaurant supply house sort of, but it's open to the public too, and that's the one that we really really like. And then our next one is the one from Trader Joe's. Can you tell I'm a little bit hungry? Uh, I just realized I hadn't eaten lunch before I came on here. So I'll be doing that once we're done. Let's see. Nerdy wants some sourdough. Nerdy, I can hopefully we can get some made and then I'll bring it to New Orleans. So we can hang out at New Orleans and Yes, and sourdough. Now, that's another thing is Creativation's coming up soon. I never give out, I mean, y'all can look it up, I'm sure. I don't ever really give out the dates when I'm not home, but because obviously for safety reasons, but since my husband's still going to be home, I'm not too worried about saying it. But when we're out of town, both of us, we usually don't announce it because we want our home to be safe and secure. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask to you. But you'd be surprised. Right. So this is actually a leaf right here. So that I don't start doing things that I don't want to do with it. I'm actually going to map it out. So I'm going to bring in a YG01 and like right here, see that little line? I think that that's the leaf. And this whole thing is a leaf. So if you weren't paying attention, you would think that that was just like a curl of a petal, but it's not. So I always like, if things start to get confusing, that's why I do one petal at a time. That way I can map stuff out. So if I start to lose where I am or what I'm doing, then I can, not get lost. But with that said, sometimes it's just easier to go ahead and map stuff out um, like I'm doing here. And then the stuff that I filmed earlier today, I did the same thing because, well, I can't tell you why because I'll give away what I'm doing, what the new stamp is. But let me tell you something. This stamp set that's coming out, there are a lot of them that I think are really cool, but this was one that I've wanted for a really long time. Um, so the high five, which is the ones with the cats that we did last month, was the very first stamp that I ever wanted. That and the other one, my best friend, which is actually my dogs and my friend's dogs. But this next one that's coming up, it's very near and dear to my heart, and I am super stoked by it, and I hope you guys like it. And then we have another stamp set that we have a certain, and again, I can't tell you what the name of this is. I can't tell you all the details because I'll tell you what the name of the stamp is. But um, let's just say my BFF, we call her popcorn, and there might be popcorn in that stamp set. And that's all. That's the only hint I'm giving. Since we're just a few days away, I can give some hints. Um, these are some really cool stamps that are getting ready to come out on the 15th. So that is a continuation of that first of that petal up there. I'm going to use that completely in the dark because in theory this would be in shadow because you've got all of these petals overlapping it. So that's why this portion here is going to be the RV19. This is just a really pretty stamp. It's just versatile for everything. So the sentiment that comes with it is this is the sketch floral lily. You can color it however you want. So sketch floral lily. That's a versatile thing. So I colored it because Easter's coming up. So an Easter lily normally is white with yellow, but my mom always called it. You guys are going to notice that mom issues or something. Not really. I have an awesome mom, but she always called this the death flower, which I guess in reality they kind of were. I mean, right? But it's also the resurrection flower. So it's you got to have death in order to have the resurrection. So um, she always called it the death flower. So I never really buy a Easter lily because they remind me of death. It's really funny. The church that Sean and I got married in, um, it was, gosh, it was like a 200-year-old church. It was beautiful. They had it decorated at Easter called the Easter lilies. And I walked in and oh no. I said, it's the death flower. He's like, stop it, stop it. And he thought I was like being derogatory. I didn't really, it was just paying homage to my childhood and the things that my mom said. It was kind of hilarious. But he was mortified when I said it. But, we all have to do we all have our own little memories. Um, this here, in my estimation, is still a petal. So I'm just going to use that RB 17 and 19. Um, and we'll just go. So you can get really wacky with this, and you can like, um, you can draw in all the striations, and you can do all the dots, and because you know how lilies have like the orange. I call it the dust. That's part of the, I guess, what comes off of the stamen. That you could do, you could drop all of those in, and we might still add dots at the end. But the sky's the limit with this as far as you want it. One of our design team members, I think, did this in purple. I've seen another one who just ink blended like with three different like things and greens. It was beautiful. My daughter, of course, is wanting to put her 2 cents worth in on the streaming. It's always when I'm live. Usually I bring her up with me because she's bad. So you always see like on Wednesday nights, it's usually me with my word. Her name is Gracie. Um, because she always listens to her 2 cents worth on my live. So she hears me talking. That or else a package got delivered. She always notifies me when somebody's in the driveway. It's very funny, very annoying. Let me know. What do you guys think of this? What do you think of this so far? Like, I love to, it's not blendy, but I'm still going for blendy, but because I'm using the RV 34s and then this really saturated 19s because the 30s have like more grays in them or, so they're more muted. So you've got that contrast of bright and dark in there. So that's why you're seeing some of those striations. We could always go in there and add some, striations if we need to, if it's not, looking the way we want it. I actually kind of like it kind of the way it is, but um, again, however you like to color. So one of the people that I learned how to color from always said that these are brush nibs. So we should be using them like they are a um, paintbrush instead of doing that big heavy line. I've seen it taught both ways, and I think there's a time and place for both. Um, but really, you should do what you do because, like right now, I'm just using it like a regular marker. But you also see that when I go straight up and down, it's just like a marker would be. Um, we're going to do this one as a petal as well. And like I said, I am just working petal by petal so that I don't get lost. I'm already lost. I looked at the screen there. I lost one of them. Yeah, so like this is the most repetitive color you guys have ever seen, and that's kind of the nature of the beast. But I think it makes it really pretty. Now this is the RB32, so I'm not using that mid-tone color this time. If you ever look at nature, it's not always like 100% perfect. It's perfectly imperfect, just like we are. I'm just trying to embrace the whole um, Easter feel. So now this is a bud. I'm kind of moving away from this for a minute just because I'm getting bored of doing the same exact thing. So since these have like I'm going to say the seams where they kind of come together, I'm going to leave those really dark. I'm going to skip that 17. And I'm going to do that 34. And then I'm going to come in with the 32. So you're going to get a whole other look here. All right. Let me see here. That was the 19. Sneaking a peek at work. Oh, it's always good to take a little sneaky peek and take a break. Sometimes we got to get our eyes off of whatever it is that we're working on, refresh our thoughts and our mind, and then all whatever we're doing at work doesn't seem as overwhelming and daunting. So I don't think it's a bad idea to take a peek when you're at work. And your secret is safe with me, I promise. All right, so let's work on some of this green for a minute because I'm being honest with you right now. I need a little bit of a break from the petals. Not that there's anything wrong with the petals. I'm just, I just got done saying we all need a little bit of a break. Sometimes we need to give our eyes a break. I need to bring in some greens because I know what I'm doing at this point. So there's a shadow where all these leaves are. So I'm putting that cast shadow there. And then where this, like, the vein of the leaf would be, I'm doing that with the YG67. Then I'm going to extend that with the YG17. And then we're going to come in with the YG03. And the reason is that YG01 is it kind of acts as like an underpainting and it kind of peeks through and it just gives you a little pop up fluorescence. All right, now we're going to come into this one. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Now, in theory, that whole thing would be in shadow, so you wouldn't have to do a whole lot of work here. You could just kind of put some color in and you'd be done. And I'm going to color that as a leaf too, because I think that we need a little bit more green here. So I'm going to use the YG17. Like right here, I am just going to color that in green. I'm going to pretend that there are leaves back there behind us. Whether there are or they're not, I don't know. This is my card. And it's my part in. Crap, what? I do what I want to do. And you know what the beauty is that you can do what you want to do. Sometimes you just need to take a little bit of artistic license and kind of keep going with what you're doing. This here, I'm going to color as a leaf 2, YG03. So we're not going to do the fluorescence too very much. And I'm going to color this as a leaf 2. Ultimately, I'm probably going to die cut this into an oval, so all this extra work probably is not even necessary. No, fire. I didn't tell anybody that I was going live, except for Nerd, because I happen to be, I caught a text from her and I told her, but I'm still testing out all of my new software, so I'm not even pretending that I know what I'm doing. All right, so should we do, so that looks like a stamen there. So why don't we color this? Because that looks like it's missing like a petal. Like there should still be something there. So I'm just gonna color that in. Again, I'm taking a lot of artistic license here. And that's fine to do. You know, when you're the one that's coloring it, you're the artist and you can do what you want to do. And if you're the one drawing it, then you're for sure the artist. But I didn't color this, so I'm just kind of doing what I think is the best. Blendy, 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 blendy. Let's color this as a leaf. So you can see I'm really working this. I'm trying to, we're gonna, let's see, we're gonna do this as a leaf. Gonna do this as a big leaf, like it's going off the page. So here I'm color mapping again so I don't get lost. Let's, I feel like there should be like some pink in there too. You know, it's really nice. You can always look at other things that are online to see how other people have colored them if you get lost in here, or you can always some of our prickly pear stuff have colored samples on the packaging. So that's another thing that you could, you know, always test out your colors and kind of see how the artist drew it. Um, you know, we have not done that for the Pajama Crafter stamps ones because I want you guys to be able to use your imaginations and kind of build it as it is. Um, let's get a pink here. I feel like this might get lost a little bit, but because you know, when you look at a bouquet, they're all, you know, kind of mangled in there. So there's not a right or wrong way to do this. You just have to keep working at it. And this would be in shadow. I think we're going to call that a day. Now this would be that it would be white. There's no leaf there. Let's do a YR04 and a I don't know. I'm thinking, you guys, YR27. So we're going to go with almost a fluorescent looking statement, and then we're going to knock it back with that 38. Always knock it back. You can't add light once you add the dark. Really hard to remove the dark. All right. Hola. Be right back. Laundry, bitch. That's hilarious. Yep, I need to do some laundry. Actually, I think I've got laundry rolling as we speak. Oh, do you see that? I didn't color that. It's hard. That's terrible. See, I got lost in my own coloring. Scrubby, 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 scrubby. And then we're going to come in with that YG03 and we're going to scrub, 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 scrub. We're going to knock this back with just the YG03. And I think that turned out really pretty. Okay, so let's look at some dyes here. I'm almost ashamed to say this, that I haven't even opened these or I'll cut them apart. So this is our scalloped ovals. These are in the sale section, I believe. This would be a really good time to pick those up if you need a set of scalloped ovals. So this is just a dye snip. Actually, I think these are from Harbor Freight. These are just a wire snip, but it's the same thing. Um, I actually think that these are a little bit stronger than what you get, like the dye snips that you find other places. And this is way cheaper to do it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna use the second largest one. I got and you guys all like screaming like "Oh, don't do it," after I did all that coloring, and that's why I wasn't like worried too very much about some of that outdoor pieces because I knew I was going to die cut it. So now it's just a matter of where do we want to frame it. I think there looks really good. I didn't even know Sean was on today. I cannot see all of the things. So hi Sean, if you're here, I'm so glad somebody saw him and said hello. All right, I do see one thing that's gonna, well, I'll fix it when we get done. All right, so I moved my die cutting machine behind me, so give me just a second, I'll be off there. Can you guys believe I cut that all off? Oh, and then I'm gonna grab a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to use the largest of those scalloped ovals, and I'm gonna die cut that. All right. So where that little white sliver is, where the white was that I said I was going to leave, we're going to color that in just to make it look like there's a petal back there. And I have some foam tape. Shocker, shocker, shocker. Y'all know that I love me some dimension. Doesn't it kill you like you work this hard to color something and then you like cut it in half? And I think sometimes I spend so much time coloring, depending on what the image is, and then by the time I'm done, it's like I worked so hard. I don't want to. What am I trying to say? I don't want to. I don't want to like. I want my coloring to be the star of the show, but we're still going to do it that way. We're still going to have a star of the show because I am going to put this on the center. That would be really cool if I had centered that differently. We could have like had a raised background. This is awesome. I'm sticking to my desk. Oh, happy time for you. Okay. All right. Gonna grab a card base and I'm gonna put this in my Misty. Where's Misty? All right. So we're not gonna get like super wild today with this card making because this was really just me coming on to say hola. So it's gonna be just like that. You know, I'm dying. I already want to do something. I'm probably gonna have to emboss something. You know what, we're gonna go ahead and grab another pen because I need some texture. I need texture, guys. We are crafting on the fly. I still like a good white background, but I still like the texture to be in there. So I'm gonna grab a embossing border. I don't put them yet. Let's see in my temperature. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be off camera just because I need to run this through my dye machine. So one thing that I like to do is I like to use 120-pound cardstock for my when I emboss because if it's not a 3D embossing folder, it still looks like it's a 3D embossing folder because of how thick it is. And then I always like to cut this down to like 4 by 5 1/4. I always cut after I run it through the embossing folder because it tends to sometimes give you like lumpy edges. So that's just a little tip and trick if you so desire to have a temperature. All right. It was saying hi, y'all. I cannot see names correct today. I get so frustrated with that. Um, but I can't see you guys. Let's see. I get a shocker using tape runner. I'm just trying to get this done. So we're still going to just have a white on white card. It's just giving us just a little bit of texture in there. And then hi, Becky. And looks like bodies on here. So isn't this just a really pretty stamp set? I mean, this was a simple card. And then we could always bring in this cross stamp. And we've got happy Easter, we've got blessings, we have happy spring, and we have joys. And then you've got for communion. So you can use this for all kinds of things. I think that we should it says on your communion. Let's see. Do we want to have it just I think it might be really nice. So let me grab all of these green stuff. And you guys, we're gonna bring in a third Misty. You heard that correct? I don't have my okay, we're gonna bring the other one out. Okay. Yes, I have my Misties. I actually had 4. And I think I stepped on one and I trashed it on accident. All right. So I'm going to line that up with the bottom of my Misty so that it's straight. Take all the guesswork out of it. And I'm going to use my black ink. Run that through. Gonna bring that sugar back in. So I'm just going to line that up with the grid mark. Make sure I have everything. And I'm gonna go ahead and just lop this off all the way. Sorry, I know that we're camera here. We're not in the panel right now. So sorry. You only have so much room on your desk, and y'all can see my desk right now. You would know why my whole craft room. I'm telling you, it seems like it's been abominable since August. Does anybody know what happened in August when I took over a company and I have been doing everything but cleaning everywhere? So eventually I'll get caught up. I'm hoping like this fairy, like the dust fairy, would come in and clean this for me. Maybe my whole house, maybe the laundry fairy. That's who I need to come in. I need to like the fairy godmother of of um of laundry to come in. Super, super easy. I'm gonna go grab some gemstones because why not? Did you guys know that we have gemstones in our shop? We've got this one here is called the Knockout Pink, and this one is called Tickle Pink. So I think either one would be really pretty with this card, but we ultimately have to make a choice. And I just chose the Knockout. Super pretty, super easy. Let me see if I have my article here. So I always do my gemstones like in a like in threes or in odd numbers. So I always make it so that they lead up to the sentiment, and then they can go on up over that. That way, you've got some movement in your card, and I think we could do. You know, now we're up to six, so we need four. And I'm just adding these just wherever makes me happy, makes my eye move, and that's just so that we get some movement in the card. You could even go off the card, you can do it down here, and go up. But I think I'm kind of happy with it the way it is. I think oh, I said I need an odd number. I don't want to lie. I don't want to be a liar, liar, liar. Pants on fire. All right, all right. So here we go. There's that. I think that turned out super pretty, and it's so easy. The hardest part about was just coloring and the repetitive of mixing the colors. So I told you that we could go back in and we could add texture or we could make it not so blended. But I'm going to tell you this right here is the line when the bunkers, this illustration. So I'm just going to feather some more in. And I want this to be a little bit blended. So that RE32, which is the highlight color, it was such a drastic change from the rest that it kind of like reached out. So I just needed to add it. And we're good. Right. All right, guys, I have taken up enough of your time. Thank you so much for being out with me and thank you for letting me play with my software. Hopefully we'll get this figured out in the next couple of days or a week. All right, have